Hey friends, Pastor Bill Walden here, the author of the book 31 Blunt Thoughts, Not So Gentle Encouragement for Dense Husbands. Punch you in the arm with one hand and pat you on the back with the other. We need that, don't we? If you're a Christian man, a Christian husband, reading the book, watching the videos, God bless you. I hope that you're encouraged. I hope you're challenged. The book was definitely intended to challenge us, shake us up where we need it, not condemn, not make us feel defeated, but show us where we're perhaps dropping the ball. Show us perhaps where we have neglected our responsibilities as Christian husbands. So, not so gentle encouragement for dense husbands. So, in this episode, we're going to be considering chapters 20 and 21 of the book. Chapter 20 is about companionship. And then chapter 21, I felt so compelled to continue writing on companionship that I actually wrote my own testimony, a very brief testimony of my Christian life and my companionship, my marriage with my wife, Debbie. As of this video, as of the writing of the book, we've been married just over 44 years. And I've really grown to understand what companionship is. So let me read to you from Malachi chapter 2. What's going on in Malachi chapter 2 is that the Jewish men, the Jewish people, by and large, had been going through the religious motions with God, but being disobedient on the side. Modern day example would be, getting drunk on Saturday, going to church on Sunday. There was an inconsistency. There was a lot of compromise, a lot of rebellion, a lot of sin going on in their lives. And God was saying that he wasn't going to bless them because of this. I'm just going to start reading here in Malachi chapter 2, verse 13. And this is the theme verse for chapters 20 and 21 in the book. So Malachi, God spoke through Malachi, and Malachi said to the people, "This is the second thing you do. You cover the altar of the Lord with tears, with weeping and crying. Oh Lord, we're committed to you. We're sorry," so on and so forth. So he does not regard the offering anymore, nor receive it with goodwill from your hands. They would bring their offerings to the Lord, but the Lord was essentially saying, "You're going through the motions. You don't mean it." Verse 14, "Yet you say, for what reason? God, why? We're coming to church. We're putting money in the offering box." Once again, modern day parallel. Excuse me. "We're bringing our kids to church. I'm serving on the security team. I'm out in the parking lot. We clean up the classrooms and going through the motions. Aren't you happy, Lord?" And God would say to them, and maybe to us, excuse me, guys, "No, I have this against you. The Lord has been witness between you and the wife of your youth, with whom you have dealt treacherously." They were mistreating their wives. And then God said this, "Yet she is your companion and your wife by covenant." And when we enter into the marriage relationship, we are making a promise to her, and she's making a promise to us, husband to the wife, wife to the husband. It's a covenant. It's a promise. We promise to love each other, to put no one else before you, my spouse. We promise before the Lord that we're going to give our lives to you. Well, God said, "You've dealt with your wives treacherously," he said to the Jews. "She's your companion and your wife by covenant. Did he not make them one, having a remnant of the Spirit? And why one? He seeks godly offspring. Therefore take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously with the wife of his youth." Now the verse that I chose to use as a title for chapters 20 and 21 was this: "She is your companion and your wife by covenant." When I think of companionship, I think of somebody that's standing side by side with me for the long haul. They're going to be with me from the beginning to the end. I wrote in the book about, sometimes I imagine marriage like being a long cross-country journey. There are beautiful sunrises, sometimes beautiful sunsets. Other times you're driving through fog, you can't see a thing. The road's bumpy. It's too hot, it's too cold, any number of things. Long stretches without any good food. But your companion is there with you to encourage you, to take the wheel if you need to take a nap, to keep the conversation going, to keep you awake, to talk about the things of life, talk about the kids, the future, the job, the home, church affairs. A companion is with you through the good times and the bad times. And that's what we need in our marriages. We need a companion. I used another phrase in chapters 20 and 21. We don't need an adrenaline junkie, somebody that's just there because it's exciting for a minute. They think you're amazing, you think they're amazing, and you're just head over heels attracted to one another, but after 2 or 3 months you're like bored with each other, and so you're moving on to the next exciting relationship. That's an adrenaline junkie approach to marriage. We need companionship. As I was preparing for this little video, I thought about, I used to be more of an NBA fan, National Basketball Association. When I was young, somebody was drafted onto a team and they stayed with that team. You had a commitment to the team, you had a commitment to the city, to the fans, to the people, and you had an allegiance there. Now as I watch basketball, and I don't really care for it anymore for a number of reasons, but one of the reasons is that guys are always changing teams frequently, and the ownership and the management of different teams, they're always changing teams up so they can put a super team together to win a world championship. Guys are chasing a ring. I can understand wanting to win a world championship, but it doesn't make for a teammate environment, does it? It doesn't build companionship into the teammate experience. It's kind of like every man's in it for himself, not for the sake of the other guys. They just want to win that ring and be able to say that they have a ring or 2 or 3 rings or whatever the case may be. That's not biblical marriage. Biblical marriage isn't what can I get out of it quickly and how much can I get out of it, and then if I get bored I'll move on to the next thing. No, God says you have dealt treacherously with your wife. He said to the Jewish men, you've dealt treacherously with your wife, but she's your companion. Guys, I really want to encourage you, if you've maybe hit a stretch in your marriage right now where you're feeling like, man, this is just feeling monotonous. Well, life is monotonous at times in the human realm, isn't it? I mean, the job gets old, the yard gets old, the ski boat gets old, the restored hot rod gets old, the new computer gets old, the new big screen gets old. I mean, everything kind of gets old and boring after a while. That's just the way that life is. You can replace the stuff, but you're not to replace your marriage. You're not to replace your wife, excuse me. She's your companion. She's the one that's going to hold your hand when you're struggling to take your next breath on your deathbed. She's the one that's going to keep the family strong after you're gone. We need to think about the full life experience with our wives and have a companionship mentality. A companionship mentality. That pleases God. That blesses God. Anything else can venture off into a lot of selfishness. Guys, don't be a selfish husband. Be a loving husband. Be a giving Christian husband. And see your wife as the companion that God has given you for life. So, thanks for watching, guys. God bless you. Go for it.